Hello, everyone. I'm from CERT, National Computer Emergency Response Team of Kazakhstan. And today, I would like to share our journey turning APT threats into strengths. To be honest, this is the first ever my experience presenting in such a Picha-Kucha format, but I hope that this story about mass incident response will be helpful and handy for you as well. So let's get started. So Kazakhstan is a country located in Central Asia, largest landlocked country in the world, neighboring with Russia, China, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and sharing Caspian Sea coastline with Azerbaijan and Iran. So our journey is a reflection of cybersecurity transformation in our country. In 2017 and 2018, we were a small team focused on managing local incidents, providing basic cybersecurity services. Our team consisted of few responders, reversers, and pen testers. I was a security engineer. And at that time, most of our knowledge about cyber espionage came only from TV news or antivirus reports or other online resources. We questioned why anyone would like to invest their resources in targeting Kazakhstan. However, soon our perspective began to change. We were spending weeks triaging incidents, encountering same types of advanced malwares, and it became clear that we were dealing with targeted attacks. What initially came as a surprise, and even then feeling of flattery, soon turned into determination. One of the reasons why we were missing some parts of information about initial attack vectors was that early attack types involved so-called water-holing attack technique, targeting public IPs of specific government organizations. For example, there were websites, infected websites with so-called task lists of targeted IPs, redirecting only specific targets to malicious downloadable links. At that time, it was exploitation of Adobe vulnerabilities. So if you are not in the task list, you don't see this, you only get the malicious link if you are targeted. Especially employees of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, since the specific nature of their work implies that they should receive letters from various international organizations. One of the notable things is that after compromising infrastructure, attackers might use it to attack another country. For example, they have stolen the email certificate. One of the key techniques used by these attackers was the deployment of plugix malware. Initial executable was legitimately signed application loading DLL, which in its turn used to decrypt payload. We started creating detection signatures to identify malicious hosts in the traffic. We learned how to detect the vulnerable DLLs. But removing plugins from our network required more than just reactive measures. It was clear that AV is not enough. We needed EDRs, anti-APT solutions. However, adversaries were also evolving and coming up with new modules like plugix, shadowpat, icefog, HTTP browser, RAT, and Winity. We needed comprehensive intelligence on the adversaries' TTPs and solid operational plan. First of all, our operation needed to be approved by senior decision makers, as during operation anything might go wrong. We have devised a two-phased plan, first preparation and active defense, to tackle this growing. Preparation phase started from establishing a new secure communication channels to coordinate our efforts, appointing a specialized response team that included network engineers, system administrators, IT auditors, penetration testers, reversers, and making lots of notes. We spent months monitoring TTPs while observing how adversaries concealed their C2 traffic using domain names that mimicked legitimate services like Google, Microsoft, even popular Kazakhstani domains and AV vendors. Sometimes even executables in DLL hijacking scheme or signed AV solutions. We faced challenges such as outdated systems that couldn't support modern EDRs and anti-APT solutions, and a lot of unidentified systems and hosts that were not covered by agents, which were actively exploited by attackers. And hardening stage included network segmentation, reviewing configuration files, reviewing source code, patching and updating, avoiding unsupported or vulnerable protocols. And then we started coordinating with antivirus vendors to roll out the updates and shared our samples. While not all samples were identified and flagged as malicious, most of them have since begun to be detected. Some of them were marked as suspicious. Once we had gathered sufficient intelligence, we went through the hardening the infrastructure. We started actively revoking passwords, tokens, certificates, blocking IOCs. By the way, you may need to do this revoking exercise more than once, at least maybe 3 times. Here is a list of some of the tools used by us during all these phases. I tried not to promote some commercial solutions and only mentioned some of the open source ones, but yeah, you can have a look. And in February of this year, we witnessed a significant data breach known as ISUN leak. Interestingly, attackers who had been targeting us were compromised themselves. Their internal reports and communications were exposed, validating many of our assumptions about their activities. It was like receiving paper with correct answers after examination. Today, our team has grown to the level of National Cybersecurity Coordination Center with hundreds of experts. We are national CERT, we are government security operations center, and also we coordinate security operation centers of all national critical infrastructure. Yeah, so thank you all for your attention. Feel free to reach me out, and goodbye, and enjoy the rest of the conference.